and I really want to like not have this bee in my face. Hello my beautiful nerds, welcome to a video that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I've been excited, I've been really nervous, but this video is some tips that I think you should have, whether you're a new content creator, new to this journey, or you've been on this journey for a long time. This is something that you should be reevaluating constantly. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Missildine Online. I've been a full-time content creator now for the past 3 years, and I've been able to do that with a relatively small audience. Hopefully you're able to learn a little something from what I'm going to teach you. This is going to be one of those top 3 tips to win on Twitch. It is going to be that type of video, but hopefully one that resonates with you in a way that a lot of these other videos aren't quite resonating with me personally. The 3 things that I want to talk about is number 1, you need to know yourself. And you need to know the content value that you provide to your audience, which leads directly into number 2, you need to know your audience. You need to know exactly who you are targeting with your content before you ever even make that content. And number 3, you need to be posting on any and every social media that there is, even if you're not comfortable with that. And trust me, that's a big one, and we are going to get into all of these super in depth in this video, but we're not going to do that outside. Let's head to the office. That was a good pickle. Don't ask. Don't ask. So anyways, now that we're sitting in the office, I can talk about what it is that this video is about, which is number 1, the first thing is to know yourself and the value your content provides. Know yourself. I don't really mean that in like a super defined way. What I really mean is that you need to know what you like, what you don't like, how others perceive you, how you perceive others. Those things are super important. And what's really interesting about this is it constantly changes. This is something that you should always be reevaluating as you create content. Who are you? What are some of the things you enjoy? Do you still enjoy the same things that you enjoyed 5 years ago, or has that changed? Think about your values, the things that matter to you. Those things that matter to you, they might matter to your audience as well. All of these things all feed into each other. So yeah, this is like step 1, step 2, step 3, but trust me, you're going to be thinking about these things forever if you want to be a successful content creator or influencer or streamer. These are super important. You have to know yourself. And when we talk about the value of content, there's something that I need to say before we even get into all of that, which is when I think of value in content, I think of 3 different things, and different people are going to have different things. So for me, I think of it as you have an educational value, a entertainment value, and a relatability value. And this is different for different people, and they define it in different ways. I'm going to try my best to define it here. The biggest thing, the biggest takeaway that you can have, it is so difficult to have just one of those things. In fact, it's really difficult to have just 2 of those things. These 3 values are so interwoven into each other that if you want to be a content creator, you're probably going to end up being all 3 of these things, or at least have some of it. It's all subjective, and it's all stuff that some people are going to find you entertaining. Some people are going to find you educational. Some people are going to find you relatable. Some people aren't. It's just the way that it is. So let's start with educational value and what that means. Educational value is typically somebody searches on Google how to change a tire. Doesn't really matter who the host is. Doesn't really matter if they're relatable. Doesn't even matter if the video is entertaining. As long as you effectively learned from that video how to change a tire, then you got the educational value that was designed to be in that video. There are a lot of channels that actually do use educational value, but they tie it in as well to either relatability or entertainment. So there's actually a YouTube channel that does this really well. They provide educational value, and they also provide really awesome relatability. And that's the Dad How Do I channel. Now, this YouTube channel is actually able to incorporate the character of a dad, helping you learn how to do things that are considered pretty basic, like how to use pliers or how to fix most running toilets. Yes, there is an educational value there. You are gaining the ability to be able to do that thing, but he's also been able to do it in a relatable way. Now, you could argue that, of course, it has entertainment value as well, but really the real focus of that is its educational value and the fact that it's changed and made different by its relatability value. Now, the next value that I want to talk about is actually, I think, one of the hardest to do solo, and that is just entertainment value. entertainment for the sake of entertainment. That is the value that you receive from it. No relatability, no education, just you laughed at it. I know that's kind of belittling what entertainment value is, because I do think there are a lot of people that do use entertainment value, but again, it's always tied into something. The best example of entertainment value that's just by itself, just plain out entertainment, is compilations of people getting hurt, fail videos, not like seriously hurt, right? But like, you know, they fall off their skateboard or whatever. Like those videos, I would consider those to be entertainment value. You don't really know who the skateboarder is. You don't really know anything about them. You just know that the event that happened was entertaining. It was funny. A lot of times, even reality TV has a lot of, it's just built around entertainment value. But again, it incorporates that relatability and maybe some educational value of what not to do when you're in a house alone with a lot. The point is, entertainment value is one of the hardest ones to do by itself. And really the only example I can think of that's just entertainment value is those little compilation videos. Now, something that I always think about when I think of just entertainment value is I always wonder if entertainment value can thrive on its own or if it needs something else like the relatability. Now, the third value is relatability value. And when I say relatability value, I don't mean like we are kindred spirits. We are one and the same. And I gravitate towards you because we are so alike. That's not what I mean. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean when I say relatability, not reliability, that's a totally different value. Relatability value is the idea that you want to know them. You want to know their story. You want to know what it is that makes them tick. You just want to be around them. You want to get a beer with them. You want to just hang out with this person because there's just something about them that's so charming. And this is a really hard one to, like, educational value, you can really take a script to, right? Entertainment value, even, you can take a script to. Relatability is very, very difficult to manufacture. If you don't have it, it's really hard to manufacture. However, here's the thing, here's the caveat. Every single person has relatability to someone, which is why it is so important that you know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you're not going to know how you're relatable, because I promise you, you are. There is somebody out there that can relate to you and your life experience in some way. And that's very, very important. Understand that. One of the best examples I have of somebody who really uses their relatability in a wonderful way is Hottie Chicken. Hottie Chicken is a streamer on Twitch. She plays the majority of World of Warcraft, but she also has some YouTube videos. Hottie is an older woman who streams and has built a pretty large following, and a lot of it is because of how warm she is. When you go into her community, her stream, her YouTube, you are greeted with a warm hug every single time. And you want to know what makes her so nice, what makes her so charming, what makes her so welcoming to everybody that comes in there. You want to be there because of her. It's not necessarily that she has super educational value, although she does, or super entertaining value, which she does, but a lot of it is based on the fact that she is relatable. You want to know more about Hottie Chicken. And again, it's so hard to take that relatability and disconnect it from any of the other things. If you are relatable, you're probably entertaining. It just kind of goes hand in hand. I think that you can't be just entertaining, and I think that you can't just be educational and be a very successful content creator. Again, you really need to figure out what it is about you that is relatable and how your content has that relatable value. It's super important. Now, not to beat a dead horse or anything, but it is so important that you as a content creator are able to incorporate all three of these values into your content. Doesn't necessarily need to be in every single piece of content, but you as a creator should be providing all three of these values. You can do that and understand how to do that by knowing yourself and by knowing your audience, which is the next step. But I wanted to take a moment to show somebody that I think is one of the clearest definitions I've ever seen of all three of these things: educational value, entertainment value, and relatability, that you might not think of. And that's Wheezy Waiter. Wheezy Waiter on YouTube has videos that are how to actually read more books, or why do people like decluttering. So he's not necessarily teaching you how to declutter, instead teaching you something, why do people like decluttering, which is way more important, I think, than actually learning the task itself, is understanding why. But he's able to do it in an incredibly entertaining and relatable way. He's a dad, he's a little bit older, he's making YouTube content. He's having fun. You get to see his house. You are there with him when he's learning all of these processes. He does a wonderful job of combining all three of these values. And if you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend checking it out, at least for an example for yourself, to really see how you can use all three of these things. Step number 2 is defining your audience, knowing who your audience is before you ever even make that content. Now, obviously, this goes beyond just what are your demographics. Whenever somebody says, oh, you got to know who your audience is, I don't mean just look at your demographics and figure out, oh, it's this age group and they're from here. That is important. That is something that you should know as a content creator. But what I'm talking about when I say to know your audience is to know what they are looking for. Before you ever even make that content, know what your audience's values are. What do they want from you? What are they seeking? Do they want that warm hug from Hottie Chicken? Or do they want that relatability from Wheezy Waiter while they learn why people like decluttering? Understand who you're talking to before you ever even talk to them. These are actual people that have life experiences. Know who you want to surround yourself with. Who are the people that you want to talk to every day? That's super, super important. It's not about, oh, well, this age group or you know, man, woman, whatever. That doesn't matter. What matters is what matters to them, right? And that's super, super important when it comes to designing your content. Do you want to just make WoW and I just want to target WoW players? Or do you want to target WoW players that are consistently celebrating the game and celebrating what it's done to them? Or do you want to target WoW players that are upset about the direction of the game? These things are legitimate. There's going to be an audience for all of these things. Find out where your values lie. That's very important. Somebody like Asmongold, for instance. Asmongold as a streamer isn't really going to be able to relate to Hottie Chicken's audience. That's not the audience he's looking for. And Hottie Chicken's audience isn't looking for Asmongold. They're two totally different content creators. Now, don't get me wrong. There might be some crossover, of course. That happens with everything. Just because you like something doesn't mean you don't like anything else. But what I mean is you as the content creator can't be both Hottie Chicken and Asmongold. You can't decide that you want both audiences, right? You have to choose your audience based on the values that they have, what you think they're looking for. Again, this is super important that you are doing all of this all the time. You don't just do it once and end. You need to constantly be thinking about the audience that you're cultivating and what that audience is looking for while you are creating content. The same goes with, you know, finding yourself and who you are. If that changes, odds are your audience is going to tell. You can't just fake it forever. You really do need to know who you are targeting when you make your videos, when you make your stream, when you make your tweet, when you make your Instagram. All of that is so important. Try to think about who is watching on the other side. And again, I can't reiterate enough. It's not the person, it's their value. That is the thing that you need to target when you are making content. And I don't mean that they don't matter. I mean, when you are making content, make it for the value they are looking for. So remember throughout this entire video that there's a caveat to all of this, in that it's applicable no matter where you're creating content, whether you're a Twitch streamer, a YouTuber, a Instagrammer, it doesn't matter. All of this is applicable to whatever you're doing on social media platforms, which actually brings us to point 3. You should be posting on any and every single social media platform. And I know that sounds daunting, and there is so much about social media that like scares me. There are so many platforms that I just don't understand the algorithms or the intricacies to. I understand that, but you should still be posting. And one of the things that I'd like to think about it, I like to think about it as breathing. When you have one social media that you're really good with, that you understand, you can actually use that social media to expand to these other ones. And then when you do that, you pull those other ones back into your main social media, whatever that is, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, doesn't matter. You use it to spread out to Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and then you bring them back. It really is the act of breathing. And you need to do that. You funnel them back into your content, whatever that is, the one that's making you money, the one that's allowing you to pay your bills, whatever that is for you. But remember that this is a breathing exercise. You are spreading this out. You don't need to put all of your focus on a social media platform that you don't really enjoy. You just need to grow a little bit there so that you can start bringing those people back. I like to think of it like chipping. You chip one little chip. You just keep going, right? That's one more person that's engaging with your content no matter where it is. That's super, super important. Now, it's also really important that you need to curate your feed on those social media platforms with people who are successfully using that platform. And I don't mean people that are successful elsewhere and then are therefore successful on that platform. I mean people that are genuinely using that platform successfully. And one of the best examples I actually have of this is Harris Heller. Harris Heller might have an Instagram that's successful because he's also a successful YouTuber and streamer, or he might have a successful Instagram because his Instagram game is actually on point. He's got a really aesthetically pleasing Instagram. He knows how to post. He knows how to look. It has entertainment value. It even has educational value and relatability value built into his Instagram. He's got all three things already built in, and he doesn't really have to do anything that different. Now, with the example of Harris Heller and how he's absolutely killing it at Instagram, I have to show somebody who I think is a very successful streamer, but isn't killing it at Instagram, isn't a streamer that you want to follow on Instagram just because they're popular on Instagram or anything like that. That's actually Ninja. Ninja's Instagram game is not very good. Most of the stuff that he posts just isn't really working. A lot of it seems like promoted stuff. And I don't really get anything out of who Ninja is outside of streaming on his Instagram at all. It's not even aesthetically pleasing to look at. I think it's actually very interesting when you look at somebody like Harris Heller's Instagram and you look at Ninja's Instagram and you compare both of those together. That's what I mean, right? You don't want to be following Ninja just because he's a successful streamer on Instagram. You want to be following people that are still successful on the platform, but doing it in a way that coincides with the platform itself and actually it's stuff you want to see on that social media. The point is, Harris is using Instagram really well. Ninja's not. Don't surround yourself by people like Ninja that are successful on that platform because they're successful elsewhere. Surround yourself by people that are effectively using that platform. That's so important. And engage in conversations. That's another thing. Yeah, you can be posting your own social media, especially on things like Twitter and stuff like that, but engaging with people's content is a really big deal. Let them know that you're not just in it for yourself, that you actually want to help other people. You want to contribute to the community. You want to contribute to conversations. This is going to help not only with your relatability, but also with your entertainment. Seeing what people are doing effectively is going to help you do things effectively. I promise. Okay, that social media one is huge, and trust me, I think I could make an entire other video on that, which if it's something that you want to see from me, let me know in the comments below. I'll go over all of the different platforms and how I think that you can effectively use them no matter where you are. Anyways, I hope that you guys learned something from this video. If you want to share it with another content creator, please do. Please share it with whoever. This was my first time making a video about growing your stream, growing your content creation, whatever it is. And yeah, a little rough around the edges, but it's something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I hope I could help you. You can find me on twitch.tv/MissileDyneOnline, where every Saturday we'll be looking at stream content, YouTube content, whatever that's submitted by the audience. And I also have a podcast that will be coming up very soon where I interview another full-time creator. The link for that will be in the description as soon as that's up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, never give up, never surrender. Bye, everyone.